Hi, my name is Theo Dragan from AppAwards. I'm here today with Marca Tatem, partner at Lemonchik. As you may know, AppAwards gives App Awards to the applications with the best features of their category. Today I'm happy to announce that the winner of the news category for the best feature award is Guzzle.it. Mr. Marca, congratulations to you and your team.
Hey, thank you very much for that.
Can you tell us a bit more about your application, your company, about yourself?
Yeah, well, my name is Marca. As you said, I'm the founder of Lemonchik, which is an interactive agency based in Paris, France, as you can hear. And we are doing both client work. We make websites and web applications for our clients. And we also create and publish software. Can be either web applications like Guzzle, for example, or iPhone applications and services for developers. Maybe we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But basically, we've got two branches like in Lemonchik, but that's what we do.
Can you tell us how did you get the idea for Guzzle.it?
Yeah, I had the idea because I still use it a little bit, but I was a big fan of a website called Pop URLs. It's quite hard to say for me. Pop URL is an aggregator. It aggregates many feeds. And the interface is really simple. I mean, it's mostly text. It looks a bit like Guzzle actually, but it's on a it's darker. But basically, what I was doing, I was going on this website pretty much every day, and most of the time I was even going on this website like many times a day. And like each time I was kind of looking for the same topics, like I was clicking on everything about Apple computer or programming stuff or space stuff. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. And so I thought that maybe we could do exactly the same thing, but instead of showing sources like dig. Newsline, I don't know, Reddit, Delicious, and all that stuff. Maybe we should let the user decide what topic they want to, they are interested in. So I could type Apple, or and have all the news about Apple without really caring about who's providing these news and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the idea was born, basically, to make things easier to get the news you are interested in.
Were you already at Lemonchik when you started developing Guzzle.it, or did that happen before?
I had the idea a long time ago, but then I founded Lemonchik, because I was a partner in another interactive agency that still exists today, but then I decided to found Lemonchik, and so Guzzle was developed in that context.
Okay, and can you tell us which were the first steps you undertook after you got the idea?
Yeah, well, the first thing I did was to code the actual engine that gets the data, gets the post and index them and put them in a database and all that kind of stuff. Strip everything that is like not interesting and try to get the keywords out of it and all that kind of stuff. So it was intense work, but it was quite interesting actually. And then I started to draw a UI on a paper, and I was just trying to figure out what was the best way to present that, and then I started coding the front end. I designed the logo, and I didn't make mock-ups or Photoshop mock-ups. I just decided to set up a grid, on the web page, and then I put elements on it. And I started to code the front end of both, the CSS and the presentation, and also all the JavaScript by hand. There's not much fancy effects with Guzzle, but still, what it does is really smooth, and I wanted to code it manually so that I had exactly the effect that I wanted that I wanted, basically. So and then well, Guzzle was born.
Were you working alone on this project? Was it a one-man project, or did you have other partners, other people helping you?
The very first version of Guzzle, I wrote it alone, and then I decided to make a second revision of Guzzle, the one that is online today, and I hired a developer to build the engine that gets the post from the pub server hub that send the post and analyze the content of it. So I hired a developer because I wanted to have more time to work on the UI and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what happened for the second revision.
Considering your experience both as a programmer and as we see it as an entrepreneur, can you give some feedback, or can you give some tips and tricks of the trade to people starting off their own apps?
Yeah, if it's a one-man project, one thing that I realized is that you'd better not talk too much about your idea when you have it. Not really because people are going to steal it, because it still takes a long time. It takes experience to build a web app. So it's not because you're going to talk about it in a cafe that somebody's going to take your project and do it. But the thing is that the more you talk about it, the more people have ideas about it. You know what I mean? So, and it's not necessarily a good thing, because you start building a bigger project in your head, and at the end of the day, it's like it becomes something like impossible to make, because I think you've got to keep your idea simple and start coding it. And well, the second thing I'm thinking about is that when you have your idea, you have to make sure that you have, like, for example, 1 month, full month to work on it, and you start coding. Even if you are not really sure on how you're going to handle everything, you just start coding, because when you code, you're going to think about how you're going to make things. And if you get this wrong, then maybe you can start over. But the thing is that if you write plans in your head, well, the next thing you're going to do is implementation, and implementation is boring by itself, So if you are doing it all alone, then you'd better go and start working on it, straight away, and see how things work. And the last thing I'm thinking about is, well, at the end of the project, you have to know that it's going to take time to write the about page, the contact page, the FAQ, or so you don't get discouraged, because you worked a lot on something, and you still have to do a little bit more, and then you still have to, you will have to write emails to bloggers and stuff like that. But the thing is that once you release, you start to see people using your app, and that's really cool. I mean, when you start to have articles everywhere, you start to have articles in major blogs and stuff like that, then it's really the actual award of your work. So it's really pleasing to do that. So if you have the chance, just take a 1 week holidays after that, and just watch what happened. And that's usually really pleasing. That's what I'm doing anyway. So yeah.
So start coding as soon as possible. Don't think too much about it. Think as you code, and
Yeah.
have a picture in your head where you want to go from the beginning, and then just don't be discouraged. Code,
Yeah.
code, code, and relax at the end a bit.
Exactly, and again, I mean, one thing that is very important, you might have ideas during the building process, but well, some ideas are good to include in your project, some ideas are better for version 2, and think that, release, and then you'll add, more feature and stuff like that, but don't feel like you need to have this feature before releasing your product, because otherwise, you're never going to release,
Postponing.
and
Exactly,
yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
So get a working product out the door.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, we at AppAwards love web apps, and we were curious, which web apps do you yourself use?
I don't use much web apps, to tell you the truth. I'm using Facebook like everybody, which is like the web app. I mean, you have to say that it's like, well, I mean, it's really well built, and
Well,
no, I mean,
I'm
it's
a Google Plus fan.
not really about the feature set, but the thing is that I'm always really impressed about the quality of the implementation of what they are doing. But it's not so much that I use a lot of desktop applications, but well, I don't use much web applications, to tell you the truth. So I'm visiting websites like pretty much every day, like pop areas and stuff like that. But or even Reddit, I have to admit. But the thing is that there's not much web application in itself that I'm using. I'm using bug trackers, for example, but professionally, but not not every day. I'm not doing project management, so it's not really what I'm using. Oh
Okay.
yes, I'm sorry. I'm using GitHub, which is as
GitHub.
well
Yeah.
a publication, but it's not really what it's not for general audience.
No, it is for programmers and for people who run a website, I think.
Exactly.
Or an IT project, programming project.
Yeah.
Anybody you or your company would like to thank for helping you win this award?
I don't know what helped us to win this award, but well, I'd like to thank like everybody who wrote an article about it, because we had like many articles about Guzzle, and that really helped us a lot. So and it's really encouraging to have this article. I mean, not only it brings you an audience, but also it's heartwarming. So I have to thank like everybody, like you actually, because it's really pleasing to receive an award for what you've been doing.
Do you have any questions for AppAwards or the AppAwards team?
Well, not so much, but I wanted to thank you again for that award that you just gave us.
Well, we're happy you're happy with it. Thank you again for this interview and for this time. It was a real pleasure, and we hope to hear more about Guzzle.it and your company, and we wish you all the best and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have a nice day.
Okay, bye.